All right, if you would please find your worksheet that's called Percent Application Connection. So we're going to connect several things that we have learned together. All right, I also have 3 separate color highlighters. I've got yellow, orange, and pink because it's going to help me be able to see this in color form. All right, so percentages, they can be represented or represent proportional situations where we relate to the whole or the whole to 100. Okay, there are 3 components involved when working with percentage problems: the part, the whole, and the percent. So Jason made 85% of his shots on Friday's basketball game. If Jason attempted 40 shots, how many shots did he make? So this is the percent. My percent is usually written as 85%, or sometimes it'll have the percent written out completely. Okay. Then I have this one, which is 40 shots, and this is my total. I thought I got all messed up. That is my total. Okay. And then I have my part, which my part is what I'm trying to locate in this problem, which is my how much did he make. Okay. In the percent problem, you might be looking for the percent. You might be looking for the part, or you might be trying to find the whole. There are 3 different methods that you can choose from. So consider these possible methods for solving these problems. You can choose to model it, which we've learned already. You can choose to set a proportion, which we've also learned. Or you can now choose to use this equation, which our equation is percent times whole is equal to part. Now, percent, this must be written as a decimal. Okay, so the percent is written as a decimal. So in this problem, our percent is 85%. Well, 85% as a decimal is 0.85. Okay, times the total, which is 40, which gets me X. All right, so we're going to just do several example problems and solve from here. So number 1, there are 30 students in Miss Hatley's 7th period. So 30 students, let's think about this. 30, that is my total. Okay, so I'm going to color that orange. If 9 of them, okay, well, wait, 9 of my 30, that's my part. Okay, 9 of them made an A on their last test. What percent of the class made an A? So what am I locating? I am trying to find the percent. So I'm going to have part, whole, percent. Okay, I know my part at 9. I know my total at 30, and I'm trying to locate my percent. And I'm going to say that that's X. All right, so I'm going to use our proportion equation. So I'm going to have part over whole is equal to percent over 100. And I'm going to plug in what I know. So what I know is my part and my total. So I know that I have 9 over 30 is equal to percent over 100. Okay. And I'm going to solve from here. So let's see here. 9 over 30, it can be divided by 3. So 3 over 10. Yeah, let's do that. So 9 and 30 can be divided or can simplify. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10, which just makes it easier. So how can I go from 10 to 100? Well, 10 times 10 gets me 100. What you do on bottom, you must do on top. Well, 3 times 10 gets me to 30%. So 30% of the class made an A. All right. Number 2, Daisy scored 6 points in the basketball game. This was 15% of the team's total score. How many points did the team score? All right, well, I see your percent, so I know I'm going to highlight this color pink. And I want to know 6 points. Is that my part or my total? Well, 6 points is my part because she scored only portions of the points in the entire team score. So I'm trying to locate my whole. So my part is 6. My total is unknown, and my percent is 15. So in my equation, part over whole equals percent over 100. Percent over 100. I'm going to have 6 over X is equal to 15 over 100. Now, we can solve this with proportions. The other way we can solve this is using, if you guys remember, our cross products. And I feel like that's going to be the easiest way to solve this one because it's just like we've learned in proportions. So in cross products, I'm going to multiply the top left and the bottom right, and I'm going to get 600. And since my two ratios are equal, I'm going to keep it equal to each other. And I'm going to do x times 15 to give me 15x. Now, how do I solve for x? Well, I'm going to divide my right side by 15. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. 15 divided by 15 is equal to 1. So I have x and is equal to. Well, now I'm going to do some division here. Okay, so I'll move my paper. I have 15 over 600. Well, wait, 15 can't go into 6, but it can go into 60. And I believe that's 4 times. Because what? 15 times 2 is 30. Let's do this. 15, 30, 45, 60. Well, 15 can go to 60 4 times with 0 left over. Bring down the 0. 15 can go into 0 0 times. So there were 40 total shots that were made. 40 total shots that were made. All right, so we've got this problem here. So Louise answered 82% of our questions correctly. So I know that 82 is a percent, and I'm going to highlight that in pink. I know my total, so there were 40 questions on the test. Okay, how many did Louise get wrong? All right, so on the front, we learned that there are 3 different ways that we can solve this, okay? Because we can use our equation now. So part, whole, and the percent, all right? Part is what I'm trying to find. I do not know my part. I know my total at 40, and I know my percent at 82%, okay? Now, my equation is percent times the whole is equal to the part. So part equals percent times the whole. So part equals percent times the whole. Now the percent, remember, it has to be written as a decimal. Okay, so how is 82 written as a decimal? Well, it's written as 0.82%. So I have part is equal to 0.82 times my total of 40. All right, so 0.82 times 40. Well, 0 times anything is 0. So 0 and 0. I'm done with the 0. I'm going to place a placeholder underneath it. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. And then I'm going to add from here. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2, and then 3. And then now I'm going to count the number of placeholders. Well, I have 2 placeholders here. I have none here. So I'm going to take my decimal and I'm going to move it 2 times to the left to get part is equal to 32.8 questions correct. Now, my question was asking me, how many did he get wrong? Okay, how many did he get wrong? So I need to take 40 and I'm going to subtract 32.8 from that. Now I have to add a 0, okay, because you have to line up your decimals when you're subtracting. Well, I have to borrow and carry. So 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. Bring down my decimal. And 3 minus 3 is 0. So Louise got 7.2 questions wrong. All right. Number 4, Max and the waiter, or Max gave the waiter an 18% tip. Well, I know that that's my percentage right here of the total cost of dinner. The dinner bill was $15.60 before the tip. Okay, so my total dinner bill was $15.60. What is the total Max paid, including the tip? Okay, so that is going to be my part and then some. So I'm going to highlight that piece of information right here because I want to know how much did I pay in tip, and then I want to know the entire amount after my tip was done. So I need to know the part. I know my percent is 18, and I know my total is 15.60. So I'm going to use my equation again. Part equals percent times the total. Well, what's 18% as a decimal? 0.18. So part is equal to 0.18 times 15.60. All right, 15.60 times 0.18. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 6, or 6 times 8 is 48. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 4 more is 44. 8 times 1 is 4, plus 4 more is 12. Done with the 8, placeholder. 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. All right, sorry, I had everything. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. And I want to add these up. 0, 8. Well, 6 and 4 is 10. 5 and 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1 and 1 is 2. Well, I have 2 decimal places here, 2 decimal places here. So I need to move it a total of 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So my part in money-wise is 2.8, and we have to round to the nearest hundred, which that's 8. So that's going to round that number up 1. So 2.81. 2.81. Now, that's only my tip. I want to know how much in all did he pay, including the tips. So I need to go back here. 1560 plus 2.81. And I'm going to add these two numbers up together. Well, 6 and 8, what is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 1. I should have paid, let me double check myself. Whoop, no, 1560 plus 2.81. Yep, always double check. So he paid a total of $18.41 for his bill. All right, number 5. So the souvenir shop in Miami Airport has a quick reference chart so that customers will know the amount of tax on each item. Based on this chart, what percent sales tax is in Miami? All right, let's go ahead because I want to know what percent of sales tax is in Miami. Okay, let's see here. My part is my sales tax because that's how much I pay in taxes. My total is the cost of the item before tax. So part, percent, whole. Okay. Now, I don't like to deal with decimals, so I like to try and deal with whole numbers. So it looks like I'm going to use this one right here. I know they're larger numbers, but let's go ahead and use it. So my part is $3. I'm locating the percent, and I know my total at $50. So let's go ahead and use our proportion. Part over whole equals percent over 100. We're going to plug in what we know. So my part is $3 over 50. I'm locating the percent of the sales tax in here. Well, I can see that I'm scaling up from 50 to 100, and I'm going to scale up by 2. So 2 times 50 is 100. What I do on bottom, I must do on top. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, and there is a 6% sales tax in Miami. All right, number 6. Coach Mooch had saved 25% by buying his gym suit on sale at the Aggies RS. If he saved $250, what was the original price of this suit? Now, I know how much I saved, and so it looks like I'm trying to find the original. So I want to know the total. So my part is $250. My percent is 25%, and my whole is unknown. Okay, my whole is unknown. All right. So we can use our proportion, we can use our equation. Either way is perfectly fine. Let me actually go ahead and show you guys using the equation. So part is equal to percent times the whole, because you guys can solve it. You guys have done this plenty of times before. My part is 250 times my percent. Now percent, remember, it has to be a decimal, which is 0.25. Or wait, no, not times. 250 is equal to 0.25 times W. And all I do is need to solve. Well, now, how do I get W by itself? Well, I'm going to do the opposite of what I see. So I'm going to divide by 0.25. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm left with W is equal to, well, let's take this over here. 0.25 divided by 250. Well, wait, I cannot divide with a decimal on the outside. So I need to move it to the right so many times until I get to a whole number. And I see that I moved it 2 times. And what I do on the outside, I must do on the inside. So I need to move my decimal here. Okay, so I've got a whole number of 25 divided by 250. Well, 25 can go into 25 one time with nothing left over, bring down the 0. 25 goes into 0 0 times, and I'm left at nothing. So my total was $10. So my suit, or my gym suit, was originally $10 before the sale. Before sale. All right, and then the very last one, number 7, the school spirit shirts are normally $24.50. Okay, when I hear that, I think that's my total. Okay, they are 40% off this week. What is the cost of the school spirit shirt this week? So I'm locating my part. So the part is what is unknown. My percent is 40%, and my total is $24.50. Okay. Let's use our equation. Part equals percent times the whole. Well, 40% is a decimal, is 0.40, so we need to know that. So part is equal to 0.40 times 24.50. So I'm going to have 24.50 times 0.40. Well, 0 times anything is 0, placeholder. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 more is 18. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. I'm going to add everything up, 8 and then 9. Well, I see that I have 2 places behind the decimal here, 2 more places behind the decimal here. So a total of 4. So I'm going to move my decimal 4 times to the left to get that my part is $9.80. So, but that is not my total. Okay. This right here, because it's 40% off, this is 40% off of the total. So I need to take these 2 numbers and subtract them. So I need to do 24.50 minus 9.80 because I want to know how much is it right now for this week. So I'm going to have 24.50 over here minus 9.80. 0 minus 0 is 0. Well, I can't do 5 minus 8, so I need to borrow and carry. Let's see, 8 to 10 is 2, plus 5 more, so 5, 6, 7. So 15 minus 8 is 7. Bring down the decimal. Well, I can't do 3 minus 9, so I need to borrow and carry again. 13 minus 9 is 4, and then 1 minus 0 is 1. So right now, my shirts are $14.70. $14.70. I'm going to double check myself here. Always double check yourself just to make sure. All right, and it is $14.70. If you guys have any questions, please let us